Who is to blame? Will surely melt in the rain. Say I. Say I. Today on my own podcast, we break down Say I. Hello, my friend. We meet again. Welcome to my own podcast, the only Creed podcast that we know of. My name is Andrew Colin, and with me today, as always, is my co-host, the cookies to my Creed, Reid Fenlaw. What's up, Reid?
Say hi, Andrew.
Wow, that's a good one.
Say hi.
Hi.
Thank you.
Hi, listeners. Hi, viewers.
I'm done. That's it. That's all I had on this song.
You just blew your load instantly.
One amazing pun.
It was a really good one. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Thanks, man. I'm pretty good.
Yeah, you saw Dashboard Confessional last night. Why don't you tell us all about it?
Dude. Okay, first of all, I mean, obviously I've loved Dashboard a long time.
Sure.
Chris Carrabba, that man is aging like wine and good art and other things that age well. Like, he looks exactly the same as he did in 2004.
Sourdough.
Does sourdough age well?
Doesn't it?
I don't know if any bread.
Don't you let it
well.
age in like a thing?
Yeah, but probably not for like 20 years.
Probably stinky after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's looked the same for a long time.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, he was like, in 2020 he was in a car accident where he almost died, and he has he couldn't use his arms for a while.
Damn, I didn't know that.
He's really good, really good.
What was the best song that they played, or one that you jumps out as a highlight is really sticking with you?
Ah, man. I mean, the closer, the encore song is hands down.
That's a good one.
Which is maybe not hands down my favorite song, but it is one of my
You're just with the puns today. That's a good song. That's a good song and a good band. I saw them once open for Third Eye Blind, and the one thing I'll take away from the Dashboard concert is they're very sing-along-y show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he steps away from the mic a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean,
in a good way. I meant that as a good thing.
I feel like there's a fine line when artists do that. It's like, okay, sure, bro, like, we came to hear you sing, but they have so many songs that people have known for like decades. I don't feel like they didn't overdo it.
Yeah, that's how I felt. That's how I felt too. It's just something about their music really makes you want to just like be in the moment and sing it with them.
And not only sing, but a lot of like really belted out moments in those songs too.
For sure.
Where like everyone's got their head slightly tilted back and it's just like
vindicated.
Yes.
Did you feel like Spider-Man?
Spider-Man 2, I did.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
So it was a good show.
It was a great show. Boys Like Girls opened.
The Great Escape. They do that song.
They did. They were great. They have a new song together. Like, they came back out and played a new song with Dashboard.
Oh, that's cool.
Pretty cool. Decent song. I forgot that Boys Like Girls did a song called 2 is Better Than 1 with Taylor Swift.
It sounds familiar.
Years ago?
I can't think of it at the top of my head. That's fun.
Yeah, she came out and sang with them.
No, she didn't.
No, she didn't. But
I would have heard about that on ESPN if that happened.
But yeah, you would have. They would have had a segment on SportsCenter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were great. It was a throwback night. Solid night.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that you had a good time, man.
Yeah, I love that you didn't go because you weren't there to ruin my good time.
No. I specifically was like looking for tickets, and you said, please don't purchase these. I'd like to go without you being in the arena.
Yeah.
But speaking of buying tickets, I got them, dude.
Oasis
tickets at the Rose Bowl.
Dude, that's awesome. And it is nuts to me and great to me that, because like, when was the last time they put out music as Oasis?
2008 was the last time that they released like a new album, but the only other time I can think of is like during the pandemic, Noel released like in 2020, like a single that was recorded during the Oasis times, but was never released.
Okay. So it's a group that has not released new music since in like 16 years.
Yeah.
And they are the demand is high enough that they're playing not one, but 2 shows at the Rose Bowl.
That's crazy because they were never as huge in the U.S., obviously.
No. But like, it always amazes me that like bands can stay relevant without making new music. But I was thinking about this last night.
Tell me about
during the show. There's all these bands right now that are having these like comebacks.
Sure.
Or that are like maybe a spike in their relevancy.
Mm-hmm.
And like you don't need new music because now all the people who were fans of like Dashboard in the early 2000s, Oasis in the 90s and early 2000s, Creed in the 90s and 2000s, like those people have disposable income now and like can go to these shows and like relive their past in like the best way possible. And those people don't need to make any new music. You can just play the hits.
I think that sums up not only some of the music industry, but just like media at large. Like, why would we create new shit when we can just rebrand the old shit?
But yeah, it's a weird time. And I was thinking about why specifically this like group of like artists. And I think it's because like you couldn't, like pre-2005, there was no even like YouTube. There was no social media. So there weren't all these, you couldn't go on social media and watch clips of your favorite artist. So there's this like void between like up to 2005, really, when YouTube launched, of like, there weren't a lot of concert clips. You couldn't watch no one was going live at a concert. You couldn't catch a song. Like it was just a different time. There's this void of ways to consume it. And now they're just presenting a way to consume the oldies in person again. And
just coming back with the same stuff, but bald hair.
Yeah.
Bald hair.
Dude, Chris Caraba's not lost a single hair.
Okay, well, he's an exception. And I guess Scott Stapp hasn't lost much either, but
Chris Caraba might be a vampire.
He could be.
Like, because he's got, a thick, full head of hair, and he always, like, same style, that, like, pompadour.
Plugs.
You think?
Everybody, dude.
Man, no.
That's not how men's hair works past 40 or whatever. It's just not that thick and luscious.
How about Anderson Cooper? You think he's got plugs?
His hair's thin, isn't it? But yeah, he probably does have plugs. What about Jared Leto? His hair's too thick and luscious to be that.
You just think anyone who's like over 40 and has hair has plugs?
Has like really long, luscious hair.
Should we get plugs?
Yeah.
Neither of us need them yet, but
yeah, they couldn't hurt.
I'm not opposed to it when the time's right.
Yeah, just get like some Jared Leto ass plugs and have like this flowing mane.
Okay, I'm into it.
Sweet. Mark that on the calendar in 2030.
Okay, deal.
Can I tell you a story real quick?
Yeah.
This is unrelated to anything, but I want to express it to the world.
Go ahead.
2 days ago, I was picking up my dog Nugget from the groomer. He got a haircut. And I'm just holding his harness and leash in my hand, waiting for the groomer to go get him. And this guy approaches me, relatively short, but like looks pretty normal, like relatively well put together, like wearing a hat, and just goes, "I got to know why you're okay with this homicide." And I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, three people killed in the parking lot. My dad was in the military. Why are you okay with this?" Something like that. And the whole time I'm just like, I don't know what you're saying to me. And he's just like, "It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up." And he's like, "Fuck you." And he walks away. And I'm just sitting there like a little concerned because my Petco is right next to an outdoor gun shop. And I'm just like, is the guy going to just take out a gun and shoot me in the face?
Oh, you think he's talking about a future homicide?
I have no idea what the fuck he was saying. He must have been like high as balls.
What kind of dog was he there picking up?
He wasn't picking up any dog. He left out the Petco as soon as he was done talking to me.
I think he probably looked at you and thought, this is a guy with a square, level head on his shoulders who I'm going to get a straight answer from. And he probably said, "Fuck you," because you didn't give him a straight answer. Like, how did you feel about that homicide? I'd have been like, man, I'm anti-homicide. I hate it.
I looked up homicides in my area, and nothing reported.
I looked up hot singles in my area.
Oh.
Nothing was reported.
You must either like live in a really lame town, or your girlfriend short-circuited your phone engine.
That's probably it. Because I live in the same town you do.
Yeah. Well, different neighborhood, but yeah.
Yeah. That's weird.
My story or the fact that we live in different neighborhoods?
No, that's pretty normal, I think.
Oh, okay.
People do that.
Yeah,
that's weird. But
it was strange.
Yeah, I think you failed the test, though.
I think so, too.
You failed, like, the morality test of just, like, dude, you had a chance to condemn homicide, and instead you were like, I don't know. And he's like, fuck you, you're pro-homicide. And I think he's got a point.
I don't think I am. I don't think anything about me gives that off.
Well, but you didn't condemn. That's my point.
Yeah, I guess I should have done that.
We can go back there and wait for him. I'll go with you.
He's probably there
I
now.
want to make sure that he knows that I'm anti-homicide.
He doesn't know you exist, so I think you're in the clear.
Well, I still want to find him and tell him.
Okay.
I got my good deed for the year.
Well, just stand in that shopping center and wait until some guy yells at you about something.
I got time.
All right. I know where you'll be after the record.
Yeah, Chili's, fueling up to wait in the parking lot.
That's pretty far from a Chili's.
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'll get it to go.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna sit in the back sit on the back of my car, and eat some Southwestern egg rolls and wait for someone to give me the chance to condemn homicide.
All right.
You idiot. Hey, man.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Say I?
I guess we should.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. There's not a ton on this song.
Say lies.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. There's not a ton on this song. That's kind of what I figured.
Not a ton. But I still want to talk about it with you.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the purpose of the show. So
that's tight. That's
cool.
That's
tight. That's rad.
Say I is the 4th song off of the album Human Clay.
Good fact.
It was not released as a single.
Yeah, of course.
It was written by Scott and Mark. Virtually nothing from the band on this. There's one statement from Scott from Sinner's Creed, his wonderful autobiography, which we plug or reference on most episodes.
Yeah, I guess we could change the name of the podcast to like Sinner's Creed, a breakdown.
I'm going to change it to Sinner's Reid because that's my name.
Okay, that works too.
And then kick you off the podcast and have on the anti-homicide guy.
Okay, he might shoot you by then.
And it's going to become a true crime podcast.
Oh, that's good.
Yep. Bye.
You've got big aspirations.
I will read Scott's quote after we talk about it because it's him saying what he thinks it's about.
Okay.
I did my analysis of the lyrics before I looked it up, as usual, so he made me feel some kind of way about my own. And then we have some decades-old message board users who...
Yes.
I really like it. We have quotes from users named Creed Dude.
That's a good one.
Rattler02.
I can't believe he got Creed Dude. I wish I got that name.
And Imp Monkey.
Oh, wow.
So
those are going to be insightful.
Yeah, you can look forward to those.
Yes, I already am.
They're actually not bad. I tried to pick out some decent.
Well, yeah, you're going to think Imp Dude's going to lead you astray?
No, man.
Yeah.
Imp Dude's comment from 2005 is going to be, mwah. It's just spot on.
Packed with profound analysis.
Yeah. Let's get into it, man.
All right, let's jump in.
Getting into verse 1. The dust has finally settled on the field of human clay. Just enough light has shone through to tell night from the day. We are incomplete and hollow, for our maker has gone away.
Okay, this is really abstract.
Give
I feel like the first line about human clay, which obviously shout out title of the album, gotta love when they incorporate that into the lyrics, reminds me of when I was reading Sinner's Creed. There was something about the artwork being a human clay, the reference being that like humans are malleable and shaped by God or something. So like when it says the dust has finally settled on the field, I feel like it's like, okay, God has made humans in his image, and now what?
Okay.
Just enough light has shone through to tell the night from the day. I guess it's just like, man, this is really abstract. So I'm really like carving the depths of my brain to get something here.
Don't feel bad about it. There's a lot of varying opinions on it, and people are like, "There's no way it means that. There's no way it means that." So you're not going to be wrong.
I think it's like we've been given just enough to guide us how to live our lives without, God telling us exactly what to do. So I feel like the light showing through, telling us what's night from day is like all that he's given us, and we from there make our own decisions. And I think that makes sense with the next two lines. Like we're incomplete and hollow because our maker's gone away. So it's like God made us and left us incomplete and unfulfilled so that we can find that fulfillment for ourselves and make decisions for ourselves and have like free will without God being like, do this, do that.
Okay. I like that bent. That's more positive than
Oh, really?
hopeful than I have interpreted. Yeah, I like that though. Yeah, because it's the thinking that God has left us to have the free will and to possibly be good is an interesting angle. Human clay, I think you can kind of sub in human race. I think it stands for the human race in this case. I think saying, yeah, enough time, the dust is settled, I think is saying enough time has passed that like we kind of know who we are as a human race and like the kind of people we are, where the world is headed, etc. Just enough light has shown through to tell night from the day. I think just reinforcing that we can clearly see and have shown who we are as humans. And then I think the last two lines, just saying that we've lost sight of God, in this case, or a higher entity, and created distance between us and God. And that has left us in a state of moral decay.
I get that too.
So mine's a little more cynical because I'm a depressed person and you're a happy person.
I don't think it's that black and white.
Okay, but I think we're on the same. We're traveling the same direction. We might be on different tracks.
Yeah, now I'm wondering if like the second lines are more about we're incomplete and hollow because we've lost the guiding divine light.
That's what I think.
But I do still think that like something in here about God being the one who provides us with that guidance, and we can't lose sight of it. That's if I had to give it a thesis. That's my thesis.
You can thesis it anytime you want, man.
Thank you.
It might be rejected, but you can thesis it.
Okay.
All right, the chorus. Who is to blame? We'll surely melt in the rain. Say I, and then say I 5 more times.
Yeah, times 5. I think the will surely melt in the rain, I think, is a cool connection to
cotton
human
candy?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just because there's no reference to cotton candy in here. But I think the field of human clay, like if it rains on the clay gets all fucked up. So that's what I think it means. Will melt in the rain. Who is to blame? One, you got to ask yourself, blame, like not only who is to blame, but like what are we blaming? Like what's the issue here?
Homicide.
No, that guy's not on the podcast.
Darn.
Yeah. So I think, I don't know who to blame is, but I guess the thing he's talking about is like, what's this? Why has our maker gone away and why are we incomplete? So who's to blame for that? And I think it's ourselves.
How do you interpret the say I?
I think that's a recognition of the fact that like you as a person have to take ownership of the fact that you suck.
Okay.
Say I, like you, say I.
Great.
You're the one who's done this.
Okay.
I've done this. You've done this. You've done this. Okay. Billy's done this. Say I. Take ownership.
Billy did it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Billy was such a good guy.
Yeah, and then he like just started worshiping Satan and painting his fingernails black.
Dude, Billy was anti-homicide. I bet he's pro.
Anyone can be anti-homicide
now, isn't he?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Stepped into that Petco once and his brain was converted forever.
Sorry, Billy. Don't go to Petco.
No.
Bad shit happens there. We're pet smart.
Although my dog came out looking really cute.
Thanks, Petco.
Yeah, thanks.
Nugget looks fantastic.
Yeah, he
does look good.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so I think that who is to blame, I think it's a rhetorical question, and I think it's sung as such. I think that it's obviously, the obvious answer is it's us as humans. We'll surely melt in the rain. I hadn't really made the connection to the clay, but
yeah,
that's
I'm
a
smart.
good call.
Yeah, I'm smart.
Is my note, you are pretty smart. My note was that we are fragile and probably are unaware that we are so fragile, that we could dissipate as quickly as something that does melt in the rain, like cotton candy, which it's in reference to.
Or clay.
Or, yeah, human cotton candy.
It's a better album title.
I think Say I is just confessing to the sin of moving away from God. I think it could be both Scott saying it and telling other people to just like man up or woman up and say it. Like,
say what?
It's our fault.
Oh, okay.
But it's not that say I, like say that it's you, say that it's me who's
I think we're
responsible for this.
So it sounds like we're kind of aligned there.
We're better aligned on the chorus than we are on the first verse. I feel good. We're traveling the same direction and our tracks are a little bit closer together now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fuck this up.
Okay. Merge the tracks. Choo-choo.
Don't make that noise.
Sure.
The stillness is so lifeless with no spirit in your soul. Like children with no vision do exactly what they're told. being led into the desert, for your strength will surely fade.
This is hard again.
That's what she said.
Yep. The stillness is so lifeless with no spirit in your soul. I feel like when your mind is quiet and you're not someone who's particularly spiritual, you lose like a piece of yourself to just living and breathing when you're not really appreciating or being fulfilled by a bigger purpose. So your soul's kind of empty and spiritless. And that's sort of like children who, don't have autonomy in their lives, just do what their parents tell them to do, because they have no vision of their life or expectation of what they should be doing with their life. So like us living without God is like just us being children our whole lives and going to kindergarten, eating PB&J and pooping our pants.
That sounds so awesome.
Yeah, I'd be down for that minus the pants pooping.
I'd be down with the pants pooping.
Really?
You give me a good PB&J and a day worth built-in nap time and like time to play with blocks, I'll sit in my own shit for a little while.
That's fair.
Yeah. Miss it.
I can go on a whole thing about peanut butter.
Okay. Maybe next time.
Okay. Thank you. So, putting aside peanut butter for now.
Okay.
Being led into the dessert.
Yeah, that's yep. Being led into the dessert menu.
I wish, God, I'd just go to town on some creme brulee. For your strength will surely fade. This is hard. I don't know if like led into the desert is some sort of reference to Moses and the Hebrews.
It could also be a reference to notoriously, I don't remember how long he was out there, but Jesus himself went into the desert to face a series of like temptations.
Oh, it's like sexy women and like...
Yeah, and like pinball machines.
And like surfboards.
Non-diet sodas.
Oh, full fat cottage cheese.
Uh-huh.
Did he do good?
No, he ate a lot of cottage cheese.
Damn, it's way better when it's full fat.
Yeah, but that was everything else he was good with. The cottage cheese he couldn't resist.
They always do call it the most sinful dairy product.
Everyone's got a weakness for cottage cheese, man. It's just so lumpy and...
I can't really make a connection that makes sense biblically, but led into the desert just makes me think like, and then the idea of your strength surely fading just means like you'll just walk this life until you die. Like, I guess there's like a imagery of the desert gives the imagery of alone and helpless and your relevancy fading from this world. Yeah,
I'm with you on that. I didn't make a connection to, I thought about it, but didn't decide on a connection to Bible there either. Although Bible. I think it's possible to Bible. I think the first couple lines, the stillness is so lifeless with no spirit in your soul, like children with no vision do exactly what they're told. I think he's saying we become shells of what we were meant to be without our spirit, and we're losing it. You kind of become zombies or sheep, just blindly following the masses. Yep. Exactly like that. Was that the noise of a child with no vision?
Oh, that was a sheep.
Do an impression of a child with no vision.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. We're pretty similar. Being led into the desert, for your strength will surely fade. I mean, the desert's a tough place to survive.
We're doing it right now.
What? Yeah. We are, I guess, technically in a desert.
Mm-hmm. And we're thriving, baby.
I think he's talking about a less civilized desert.
Oh, like the Sahara?
Yeah, or like the Mojave desert.
Or like Death Valley?
Yeah, or the Mojave.
I think it's the Mojave.
How do you spell it?
Mohave.
Yeah, how do you pronounce the word Have?
Have.
Yeah, so Mojave.
All right, just move on.
Okay. Yeah, being led into the desert, for your strength will surely fade. I think, the desert's a tough place to survive, and that I think we're leading ourselves there. The whole children with no vision, we're zombies, we're sheep blindly following the masses. I think we're being led there by ourselves, by each other, to fade away and die because we're just getting further and further away from God. I think that's the symbol. And when we do that, that's when we have no spirit in our soul.
Got it.
God, that was so good. That was insightful.
That was good.
I feel good.
You should. Let's move on.
Great. Cool. We have another chorus. We've already covered that. We're feeling good. Then we've got, I guess, the bridge. And there's two things going on here. There's some spoken word.
Yes.
And then there's some singing kind of underneath it, in between it.
Right.
Am I boring you? Andrew's yawning. Andrew's yawning at me.
You're just like so fucking slow. Get to the point.
Pro-homicide peanut butter freak is yawning at me.
That is what the descriptor I put on my dating profile.
You're a pro-homicide peanut butter loving freak, and I'm excited to meet you.
Would you like to go bowling next Saturday?
Fucking gross. Frantic faction focus. Frantic focus. The world breathes and outforms this misconception we call man. We speak. They don't own us. But I don't know him, so look. No, I don't know him inside. Because he lies, and see, they lie. And this part, again, is a little weird because I was reading both the sung parts and the spoken parts.
Right.
Which the way I interpreted them is kind of like a
back and forth
angel and devil thing almost.
Like two little dudes on your shoulder?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it really is like that, but that's how
They need to bring that trope back into movies more.
I know. Like where you actually see him like pop up on the shoulder.
Yeah.
We could do it.
I think that would have really been useful in Megalopolis.
We could do it. I haven't seen it.
Neither have I.
Okay, then how do you know?
I guess I can't confirm.
Okay. I think it could have been useful in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to go line by line for this, but I just feel like at large, the message is that we as people live and sort of present ourselves in one way, but in doing so, we're almost lying about who we are, because who we are is based on the inside, and we don't message that because we're spiritless, and a lot of us are soulless and just kind of take pride in or talk about the external, and we're not soulfully connecting or meaningfully presenting ourselves in a way that's not superficial.
Okay, I could get on board with that.
There
it's like
just seems to be like a lot of disdain in this for like how people live their lives and are like according to someone else's societal plan. That's kind of the vibe I get.
Okay, all right, I could get down with that. I again probably interpreted this in the most complicated and hard to talk about way possible. Mm-hmm.
Good. That's good for a podcast.
Yeah, it's great for a podcast. I interpreted it as almost like an internal back and forth of like one person's conscious, where you're getting the spoken word, like the first one is frantic faction focus, and the sung word is frantic focus. I would go listen to this part if you're listening to the podcast. It starts about 3.5 minutes into the song, because it's a weird part. But I think he is saying really like humans we can simply exist and do something as basic as
pooping,
as breathing, as pooping or breathing. But I think he might be using some sarcasm there to make his point that we can do something as dumb and as automatic as breathing and still continue to lose our way, to form this misconception that we call man. I feel like the spoken words are offering that other POV and the
point of view.
Yep, it's a point of view. And that the sung words are almost like the devil trying to stop him from rationalizing and figuring things out. Like, so the devil's like taking out faction, which is usually like a word for like a small group that's almost a rebellious group. It's leading a rebellion.
Maybe it's not even the devil. Maybe it's like Smeagol from Lord of the Rings.
It could be.
We speak, they don't own us, precious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but Smeagol, I've never seen Lord of the Rings. By the way, so I thought you were talking about Robert Smigel.
Oh, no.
For SNL.
I can go on forever about peanut butter and the Lord of the Rings. So
okay. Maybe
we'll talk about it another time.
Another time.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, like when he sings, "We speak, they don't own us." I feel like that's the devil being like, "No, we're good. They don't own us. Everything's fine."
It's okay, precious.
Yeah. He has a bunch of peanut butter in his mouth. That's why he's talking like that right now.
Yep.
Homicidal maniac. Then moving on, I think that, but I don't know him. No, I don't know him because he lies. They lie. I think it's the realization that who he's been looking to for guidance, or the multiple people he's been looking to for guidance, are not good people.
Yeah.
They're liars. Then I think the sung words, so look inside and see, are again trying to just say like, no, it's easy. Like just look, man. Everything's cool. Everything's cool. But it's not. And then I think Scott figures it out because the song ends with him screaming, say I, yeah. And I think he's saying, no, I've brushed off that devil or negative influence on my shoulder, and I see clearly for what the world is.
Good analysis. More thorough than mine, but I like it.
Well, I
in a good way.
I spent time with that section because the more I listened to it, I was like, I couldn't help but picture like exactly what we were talking about, is someone on his shoulder speaking and then the devil like singing the opposite POV. Could be completely wrong. I've been wrong once before.
Once.
I
think you're onto something. I do think that the whispering sort of sing-songy part and the spoken part do contrast to almost like it being a conversation.
And I do appreciate that part of the song, because unless I'm forgetting another one, I don't really know that they use that device very much, of like that the sing and speak, or speak and sing and speak and sing and speak and sing.
Probably not.
I like that part.
I like you.
Do you want to know what Scott says about it? Or do you want to know what the random internet users say?
We should probably figure out what Scott says first, and then we'll get to the good, juicy, meaty.
All right. There's only one quote about it in Sinner's Creed. Here's what Scott says. It was a dry time for me, personally and spiritually. God seemed far away, and I felt misunderstood by the very people I was trying to reach out to. In Say I described what had become the landscape of my soul. So
that makes sense.
It does. And I feel like it's, again, he didn't drill down into what it like really means, but I feel like against that backdrop, it's
of the desert too.
Yeah.
Dry.
Yeah.
Deserts
are dry. But I feel like if it's really about him, I think it's easy to apply it, and I think we both did in our interpretation of it, to apply it to like other people at large. But that's all we had to say.
I think that's concise, and it sort of sums up the vibe of the song, though.
Yeah. Here's what Creed Dude had to say.
Okay, thank you. Let's get to the important things.
In a comment from 20 years ago.
No numbers in his name?
Just Creed Dude.
Oh, he's so lucky.
So awesome.
Yeah.
He says the song is about how we are incomplete when God is not with us, specifically citing the line, "We are incomplete and hollow, for our Maker has gone away."
That's what I said, sort of.
Yep. So Creed Dude, also awesome username and smart.
Creed Dude, shout out my guy. Hope you're alive still.
Rattler02 in a comment from 17 years ago.
That's Spencer Rattler, the quarterback?
Yeah, because he was probably born in 02.
Yeah.
So 17 years ago. Yep, is him. I can't do that fucking math. Rattler02 says, this song is about Armageddon, or consequences of mankind's devastating effects on Earth, which I did see multiple people claim that that's what the song is really about.
When was that movie released, though?
Not the movie Armageddon. Also, it was released in 1998.
Oh, so yeah, it could be accurate.
I don't want to close my eyes.
I don't want to fall asleep. Scott Stapp writes about this.
That's not the words.
I know, but just continue.
Okay. What do you think about that?
I don't get the apocalypse vibe, really.
Like, there are multiple people who said this is about a nuclear winter. I'm like,
it seems hyper specific.
I don't understand, but I think they're saying like the dust is like the fallout from a post or an Armageddon-ish nuclear winter, and that's what is
it's inferring a lot.
That's what is settling, and that like we've brought it on ourselves by how we've treated the earth.
I mean, those are intriguing thoughts, but I think if we really want a definitive answer, we need to turn to Imp Monkey.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Imp Monkey says that the lyrics clearly subscribe to the notion that mankind has a creator whose absence or distance leaves us empty inside, and that our intimacy with God was compromised, and now we are removed from his direct presence. and that these things should be pretty obvious considering Creed's Christian worldview.
That makes sense.
Which I think I mostly agree with Imp Monkey.
Yeah.
And Creed, dude.
Yeah, I think Rattler's a little off.
I think Spencer, get it together, man.
Stick to throwing the football.
Stick to football, buddy. That's those were the most in-depth comments I could find that weren't just totally idiotic.
Yeah. I do like the idiotic ones too, though.
Yeah, those are good.
We'll find them another time.
That's what I got for Say I, man. I think the song's about how the world has caused us to fall away from God. I suppose if you are looking through it at the lens of the Bible, looking at it through the lens of the Bible, it could be about like the original sin, like
eating the apple.
Adam and Eve. You know what? The Bible never says it's an apple.
I read this recently.
We've assumed that.
Could be a pear.
It just says a fruit. Yeah. It probably was a pear or a tomato.
Tomatoes, yeah.
Tomatoes are fruit.
Well, if it just says fruit, it could be literally anything. It could be a dragon fruit.
Ah, could be. Or boysenberries.
Yeah, it could be a berry.
Or
you don't have to go on just listing fruits.
Cantaloupe.
Okay,
honeydew melons.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it could be about the original sin.
Yeah, because I guess I feel like there's definitely something about creation in there, just the human clay element, molding humans and showing us the light from the day and then leaving us to be.
That the very beginning is the only parts that made me think it could be about original sin, like Adam and Eve. Of the dust is finally settled, like I'm done creating the earth, and humans were the last thing I created.
Mm-hmm.
And then like just enough light to tell the night from the day. Like it was the first time there was ever night and day because God created the sun and the moon and all that. Interesting take.
Yeah.
I don't. For the rest of the song, I don't really get that same impression, but I think it's a possibility.
Well, I feel like we've dissected it as much as we can lyrically.
Yeah, I did. I don't know if you did.
No, I helped.
Okay, yeah, you did.
Well, what do you think about the song overall if you had to give it a rating?
Man, it's another one that I don't know. I didn't love Beautiful, we know. I liked it a lot less than you, in fact. I think this one is only a slight step up for me. Mm-hmm. I like the device of the spoken word and singing because they don't do that, at least don't do that a lot, maybe not at all. But it's not a particularly memorable song for me. I think I'm just comparing everything to What If now, which was 2 songs ago.
Well, yeah, if that's your favorite.
Yeah. So out of 5 yeahs, I give Say I a 1.75.
Damning.
What?
Damning.
I gave Beautiful 1.5.
Okay, I don't know.
Okay, so Reid, me, coming in with a 1.75. Andrew, what are you going to give Say I, and your thoughts on it if you have any?
I tend to sort of agree. I actually think for me, it's a step down from Beautiful. I think it just is kind of boring. A word I like to describe songs like this is just feels like it sort of meanders, and it just kind of takes a while to get to anything interesting, and it never peaks that high because chorus lyrically is, I think, not only is it the words aren't that interesting or fun to sing along with, but they also emotionally just kind of feel like he's just saying it. I don't know. It's just, it doesn't pique my interest in a way that's catchy or I want to come back to.
Can I interject with a thought?
Yeah.
That you just made me think of?
Mm-hmm.
That you're saying it's the way he's singing it is just not all there. I wonder if it's another repetition-based 2-word chorus, what if, and what if, man, you fucking believe it. He's
exactly.
He's laying into those words. And I agree. I feel on the Say I, it's he's given it something, but it's doesn't feel to the same level as What If. It just doesn't hit the same. And it could be the word structure that what if ends in 2 consonants, and Say I is just harder to emote.
It just doesn't come out in a way that's gives it energy. It just kind of feels, it's just kind of flat. And for that reason, I think I got to agree. It's a 1.75.
Wow. Copycat.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're both a 1.75. That's your lowest rated song of the album so far. Mine is still Beautiful with a 1.5.
This also sounds like a video, sand level song too. I'll throw that out there.
That's your favorite new reference is talking about sand level shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll get it.
Okay. That is Say I then. Just one quick piece of administrative business before we end this episode is I do want to, as your friend, give you the opportunity to finally come out and condemn the act of homicide, since it's pretty unclear to me and everyone listening if you support homicide or if you're against it. So you have the floor, please.
Look, dude, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, there you have it. Andrew is pro homicide.
Didn't say that.
You said it without saying it. So that we'll take that. I'd like you to think about your stance on that this week before we record the next episode and see if you find something better in your heart.
As a final thought, I'll sort of piggyback on that if you ever see me in a Petco, please don't talk to me.
Anyone?
Anyone.
Yeah, listen up, Petco employees.
Even if I come in with you as a friend.
Even if he asks you a question,
don't
fucking speak to him.
I don't want to talk in there.
All
anymore.
Business.
We're talking about my puppy and getting him clean, and that's it.
Do not say hi.
Nice. That's a good
Andrew
way
at Petco.
Good way to take us out of here, buddy.
Thanks, man.
With all that said, I think it's time that we make our escape.
Let's go there.
Yes, let's. For my own podcast, this has been Andrew Colin.
This has been and continues to be Reid Fenlaw.
Will forever be. Bye.
Bye. See ya.